Hi, welcome to the Lone Star Play Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong. The Lone Star Play Podcast is produced by TexasRealFood.com. It's a great website, holds a comprehensive list of butchers, farmers markets, restaurants, artisanal shops, any place in Texas that's doing artisanal, organic, all natural products. So you can basically put in your zip code or your city and just find places that are around you. It's also got great resources, different recipes, cool blog giving you, different stories and articles about Texas, videos. We've traveled to different places and kind of show you what they look like. So really, really cool website. Check it out, TexasRealFood.com. You can also find a podcast on there, TexasRealFood.com/podcast. And you can also go to thelonestarplay.com. So, and if you ever have any questions or suggestions, anything you want to suggest about the show or ask me anything, Patrick at TexasRealFood.com. Great. All right, let's get to the show, the meat and potatoes, the reason you're here. So I have a very interesting guest today. Super excited to have him on. He is with a company called OrderText. That's what it is, OrderText.com. And basically, it's smart tables. So this is something new. So a website that offers what they call smart tables. You can sort of order off the table all through this website instead of dealing with the restaurant, or I guess it still deals with the restaurant. We'll get into the details of it, but that's it, smart tables. So I guess that's where we're headed, technology-wise. Never heard of this. It's really interesting. So definitely curious to talk to my man Anthony about this, and we'll let him introduce himself, and we'll just get to talking about OrderText.com. Okay, guys, hope you enjoy.
All right. Well, my name's Anthony de Los Santos. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm a developer and entrepreneur. My company is called OrderText, and we developed some software that's going to help restaurants and the service industry accept orders and be able to accept payments through customers' phones. They can check into tables, they can order ahead, order for curbside, and it's a true contactless ordering. It was kind of neat that I wouldn't say neat, sorry about that part, but I was going to say it was kind of interesting.
I know what you mean.
What we built was
mostly
set up to mitigate long lines, We built it to say, hey, why is everyone standing in all these long lines? Keep people at tables. If they can keep ordering from tables, then it'll mitigate the long lines. It'll help restaurants and bars kind of get out orders faster. But since the coronavirus struck, it truly serves as a contactless ordering system. And so at the moment now we're setting up a few restaurants and bars currently, and we're signing on new clients every day.
Yeah. And, that's awesome. So basically the gist of this, what the website is, the main thing I take away from it that's the most unique is the term smart tables.
Right.
Because I'd never heard that before, and I really like that term. It catches your ear, like, oh, smart tables, what is that? What's that all about? And it's honestly, man, it's a really genius idea, because you think about it, it's a really great idea, man. It really, really is. So basically the idea is, if you're a customer, right? So for those of you listening or watching, the idea is that you would go into this place that's registered on the site. You don't really have to talk to anybody. You can go to the table, right? Sit down, order, chat with the server, whatever, right there on your phone, order from the menu right there on your phone, and pay right from your phone. And you literally have the minimal amount of interaction with the restaurant in a lot of ways. Well, you still have interaction with them. It's just different.
Yeah, it's a different interaction. We kind of thought, we're not taking out complete interaction, because, there's a texting, a chatting interface in the app. And, you can see your bartender and they can chat back with you, and you can kind of say, hey, I want it this way, prepared this way. And the other thing is you check into a table through a QR code, table numbered. And so they also know exactly where you are in their location. So they can.
So the table would have something on it, like a QR.
Yeah, there's a little marker, little table marker.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you can pick. You don't even have to make all your tables in the restaurant or bar smart tables. You could pick and choose, right? So you could just say, That's
That's
cool.
kind of how we said, certain smart tables, and we had kind of a plan to come out with a smart table initiative where we would only kind of light up a few tables in the bars, and then
Maybe
we'd let our
patio,
yeah
and the
patio,
further away from the furthest
right,
area that you hate dealing with.
right,
A lot of times they split up patio and restaurants in two ways. One being your whole section's on patio, or three inside, one on the patio, right? And
exactly.
everybody's got that one that they've got to go out to. So if they could
So
help,
we can call them
yeah,
smart sections, smart
smart
tables.
sections.
Yeah,
God, it's a
yeah, yeah,
really really hot term to you. It really says a lot too. You automatically think, okay, smart table, that must, or smart section or whatever. It makes you think, okay, there's something interactive about it using technology.
right.
Like you immediately get that sense that that's what this is about. Well, let me ask you this, just from an industry perspective, right? So I'm just going to be a little devil's advocate on
Yeah,
this.
please.
So let's imagine I am the bartender, right? We were talking about I could be. Are you getting any pushback from bartenders or servers saying, "Oh my god, I got to be I got to be texting back with my customers, at the tables"? Is that what I mean? I don't know.
That's come across, and so we kind of solved that solution by developing some fast text. So some
Terms that are phrases that are already
yeah,
in there, you hit them.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
smart.
So
That's smart.
that's kind of what we developed. So
That's
for
smart.
curbside, we have a fast text saying, "What color's your car?"
Yeah.
Your order's ready for pickup.
Okay.
We're
That's
bringing the order right out. You
boom.
know, so
That would be my concern, right? If I'm a bartender
you know,
server, I
you
mean,
know,
that's the first thing I would think, and I would also think, I don't know, more from a server perspective, because if the bar, you're gonna still talk to the bartender either
mhm.
way. If you're sitting at the bar, even if it's smart bar, if you will,
Well,
you're still gonna be some interaction. But the server, I could see how it's all through the app, and they just drop off the food and a hello and a goodbye sort of thing. But from my experience of waiting tables, now I've waited tables in a lot of different styles of restaurants, but the ones where I was meant to give an experience, right, more
mm,
fine dining, that can take away from that a little bit, because you know what I mean. You're giving the experience. You're suggesting these dishes, and I don't know. Is it the same feel? Do you? I don't know. I'm just curious. I
well,
mean, I'm sure
well,
you've talked about all this stuff.
right, right. Well, let's think of it in two ways. So you got the establishment or location that kind of doesn't really have servers. They just have open tables. You go walk to the bar, works
Sure.
really fine there. So now with a place that has servers, there's the one point that a server, their phone now becomes their tablet. They can see orders come in. By the time
Yeah,
they get to
that's
the
true.
bar and have to type it back in, so it goes in queue, the bar
Yeah,
already sees the order.
yeah,
So it
that's
kind of
true.
speeds that up. The other thing that makes it really neat is, you could literally check into a table, put the phone in your pocket, do the same way you'd order, and then basically the server adds it to your ticket, and then you're ready to close out your tab, pull your phone up and close the tab. So you can literally do it both ways, where
Yeah,
I'm just checking in so that I can close my own tab my own way, and I'm going to order the normal way, and the server on their end go ahead and adds everything to your ticket. And so by the time you look at your phone again, everything's there. You hit pay, so it's easy. So also when you're sitting
that's
at a
awesome.
bar, what if you just say, "Hey, I'm checking in through OrderText. I'm going to close my tab out that way." Bartender says, "Great. What do you like to drink?" They don't, you don't have to say, "Let me text you what I want." You can
Yeah.
just say, "Hey, here's what I
Right.
want."
Yeah,
So,
totally.
and then at the end of when you're done with your experience there, you close your tab out and leave a tip, and everything's there. So there's kind of two ways to look at it. It's one, I can easily, just start my ticket, start my tab, close it, put my phone away, order normally, close it out when I want, or I can actually start my tab, order with it,
Yeah,
and
totally. It's versatile.
yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds very versatile, honestly. That's a good thing, because not every customer is the same, right? And I mean, have you
right.
worked in the industry yourself? Have you
Right.
ever?
Yeah. Yeah. I owned a bar at one time. I opened the Eastern Bar on East Sixth Street in 2010. Was there for a little while, and I've also consulted and helped open a few restaurants. So I've been off and on in the industry,
Sure, sure.
mostly coming from the development side. I was been in the music industry before OrderText, and did a company called Song Office and Event Journey, which were basically more music related startups.
Sure.
Um, and they did well, but they didn't get to the point where I really wanted them to. And actually, OrderText, when we first launched March 2nd, before the coronavirus hit, we're working out of the Capital Factory, so we did an event called
Oh man, Capital
yeah, yeah,
Factory. Yeah, I
yeah.
know.
We did it.
I had a guy on the podcast from there. They got
Oh
laid
yeah,
off. He got laid off from them actually.
yeah. We were yeah. I loved all those all the guys that worked there that got laid off.
Totally.
Hopefully they get their job back and it comes
I
back around.
right.
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna hopefully get there soon. But yeah, we ended up throwing a party. We did a launch March 2nd, and our adoption strategy was we were going to do a thing called Smart Tips, where you could tip the talent. Check into a venue and just send the band or any of the talent on stage, send them $10,
Yeah.
$20 tip, and the venue would receive the money and then see a tip report and be able to tip out their talent. That was kind of what we were starting off, or actually our adoption strategy. What we had Croy and the boys playing; they were awesome, and we had a lot of people come. And that the band was like, oh, it really worked. We got an extra $150 worth of tips that we weren't going to get after we
Yeah.
paid
Hell
them.
yeah.
They came for the event, we paid them for the event, and then they got extra tips from everyone using. So that was what happened there. The next thing you know, it hit, and we said, well, we need to adapt, and that's when we launched our curbside and delivery. Our delivery options are our company doesn't deliver. We just kind of allow our customers, our clients that have the restaurants, to use our system to accept delivery orders, and then they can deliver themselves.
Got
The
it.
idea was like, why pay other companies to deliver your food when
Yes.
you just fired your bartender, you just fired your
Totally.
servers. Get them
Yes.
back in, get them in a car, use
Yeah.
OrderText. They can see where the order's going, see the address, deliver. They can make service or the delivery tip and the delivery service fees. That all goes to them. So our model's pretty basic. We don't charge right now to set up. We don't have a monthly fee or commissions. We simply
From a
pass
business
up.
standpoint, you mean if
Yeah,
your business, if you want to register
right,
on there, it's free. Just register
right,
on there and
right.
get set up. Yeah, that's
Get set
cool.
up.
Definitely
Give us
good.
some.
Give it a try, right? How would you not want to give that a try? In my
Right.
opinion, as a
Well,
place, like I don't know, I don't get it. Why you wouldn't want to test it at least? There's got to be a section in your establishment that just needs a little help in sort of that sense. It's just the furthest
right.
away from things or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's
Well, to make it simple, we passed on just a small service fee to the customer as a convenience fee, and it's anywhere from 32 cents to 62 cents.
oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah, it's really
breaking the
low.
bank. Yeah,
Yeah. We had to think of something that you wouldn't think of if you had a
sure.
$20 ticket and you're like, oh, 62 cents, 89 cents, that's fine.
For the convenience of your
Yeah,
experience, that probably
right.
pretty worth it.
Right, being able to close a tab out, not having to stand in line,
Well,
doing
plus you
things like
think
that.
I can still go in this place and order without ordertext.com. So
Yep,
it's my choice, right? So,
right,
or I can use the app, right? Here's the QR
right,
code. Let me go ahead and get in this. Yeah, it's going to cost me whatever cents, but man, it's going to make this whole experience a lot easier. You make a good point about being able to check out. That seems like a very key thing because I know from my experience working in restaurants that the checkout, the guest checkout, that part of the meal is considered the most important part of the meal, of the experience. They say that if a customer has a bad checkout experience, it will completely ruin their whole meal. Say, for instance,
right,
they're ready to go. They've got their credit card and the check presenter, right? But you take 20 minutes to charge them and get them out. Dude, they're going to hate that whole meal, whether
yep,
they were there for 4 hours doing a tasting menu, right? They don't give a fuck. If you fuck up the end of the
right.
checkout, it can ruin a meal. And I've seen it happen. So my thing always was have that shit ready to go, right? I got checks right here. Sir, we're ready to go. Absolutely. Here you go.
Right,
No,
right,
my whole thing was I never understood customers who did this. They go, here's my credit card, right? Can you bring me the bill? Bitch, now you just made me do an extra step, right?
right,
You gave me the credit card. I'm going to go bring you the bill with the
right,
credit card. Then you're going to give it right back to me. Then I go run the credit card. Why didn't we just, here's the bill, the card, I go, you know what I mean? Like it was
right.
just this whole extra step that I never understood.
Yeah,
Uh,
one of my favorite customers that use OrderText one day at a restaurant. We were testing, and she was like, she was probably in her late 60s, maybe early 70s, sweet lady. And she said, my favorite part of this, I had a full belly and I could leave whenever I wanted to. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Absolutely.
I had a full belly. I could just leave whenever I wanted to.
That's absolutely right. Because when you're ready to leave a place, you're ready to
Yeah.
leave, man. Usually you got to go to the bathroom. You're on your way to a concert or a movie or another friend or your stomach. You're just like, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. I'm ready for my cigarette, whatever the thing is that's getting you out. When you're ready to go someplace, you're just ready to go. You get antsy.
Exactly.
What if you got kids? They're getting antsy. They're throwing shit. Another thing is too, when a customer says, hey, bring me the check, you bring it to them. They don't even look at it. They just slide their credit card in and give it to you. That's another thing. It's like, why did you make me bring it to you then?
Right.
Why didn't you just give me the card? I go check it.
Well, it's going to be neat to see, the future unfold with technology like this.
That'll help all that.
That
eliminates all of that.
Server just doesn't have to go even the contactless part, handing you over a book that everyone else has touched, or even having to touch a kiosk POS system that everyone's touching.
That's a great point too. Those are the dirtiest. Those are the dirtiest things in restaurants.
I know. Can you imagine those little books that are there?
Those books hardly ever get cleaned. It's part of your side work, but you give it a quick wipe.
If you wipe them, does that clean the inside of it? Does that clean?
Because you barely wipe it. I know how people wipe those motherfuckers. They barely wipe it.
It's kind of disgusting if you
really think about
it. If you really think about it, it's like that book gets paper from bartender that. Everyone's credit card in there. They're just passing it. Everyone, they close the tab. They put it in a stack. They grab that. Probably put it on top of the stack. Then grab the same one the next time. So
yeah.
It's 100%. Who grabs from the bottom of the stack?
Nobody. That's absolutely true, man. But that's a good point. I mean, these are good points to bring up. It eliminates a lot of that. I mean, if you can make the experience smoother and easier for both parties, but no quality is lost, bro, that's a win-win, right? For everybody.
Well, we kind of have a funny saying, if we can order a ride with our phone, we can order food delivered to our phone. Why can't I order a beer with my phone?
It's a great point. It's a great point.
It's like
it's true.
It is true. Really.
Everything's switching to the phone. Well, let me ask you this, because I was real curious at first. You guys, it's a website, so OrderText.com, but there's no app. Are you guys thinking of going with an app later, or was that just
one? There's a couple of things we're going to look at it. Definitely an app will be coming out, but we like the idea that you can check in without having to download an app.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't even have to go type in to go to the website. You just scan a QR code. It takes you directly to the browser, and everything works right inside there. It looks just it functions like an app, everything. There's just no downloading. Once the app comes out, it'll be after, we've just launched our new product 2 weeks ago with curbside delivery. Now we're doing smart tables again for the reopening, that's happening.
That actually might be very good right? Because then minimal contact with the tables.
That's kind of the point, we're on our site, it reads, we're actually going to be on another podcast and talking about a lot of some of the all the regulations that are going to be in place. And I was there at Buzzmill. We're going to be in Buzzmill on the 15th. They're going to wait for the second phase to reopen.
For the 50%.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I know that they're kind of waiting. But at least have already preset, so they have 30 tables set up that are all 6 feet apart, and they have the table tents ready. They have their menus in, so when that opens up, that'll be one of our launch places. We also have a place called Pizzeria Grata. They're using it for deliveries and also curbside, and for their smart tables coming in.
Awesome, that's good.
So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's. It's such a, weird time to launch a business, right? Like now, with all this, right?
We thought we were on top of the world a little while ago. We were like, great, we're going to offer this new system. That, bands can get tips, talent can get tips. That's a huge problem in Austin. No one's carrying cash anymore.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Why can't I scan a QR code, check in, and send the band on stage, whatever I want. That was where we were. It was really exciting, and now there's no bands on stage anymore. That's sad.
Yeah.
We hope they
Yeah.
get back, it gets back to that
Course.
soon. But I loved how everyone just started to adapt. Everyone's starting to do live streams, taking tips over Venmo on the phone. You've never seen, so going through my feeds, you're like, I have so many musician friends. It's like there's every other scroll, there's two bands playing, one soloist singing, and you're like, wow, people really, you just have to adapt during this time until we actually know what the hell's going on.
Totally. I've had a lot of musicians actually on the podcast since this has started, right? Because just anybody and everybody going through this, and that's obviously an industry that's been affected. And yeah, they're all saying the same thing. I've had to adapt. All of a sudden, I'm doing all these live streams, and
Yep.
but it's responsive. People are responding, and people are tipping, and people are helping out, and honestly, a lot of them are like, "Damn, I might probably going to keep doing this,
I was
even when it
surprised.
stopped, right? Like even when it goes back."
To be funny, something funny is one of my first companies was called Event Journey, and this was somewhere around, that company was around 2000, 2000. Let's see, what was it? Maybe it was so long ago. It was around 2009, maybe 2007, 2009. We were doing broadcasts, multi cameras. And that idea was like, hey, let's get every band broadcasting. They can reach so many more audience, and they can take sponsorships on. Say, hey, during the broadcast, hey, this broadcast is sponsored by this. And we were doing fun stuff. I remember this was way before Facebook or anyone had broadcasting. I was out with a laptop, kind of folded up in a backpack where you see the screen here. I had a backpack with like 50 pounds of batteries and a camera and a can. I was like, I'm live right now broadcasting on at Hole in the Wall. Here's the band, sit on tripod.
Dude, that's cool.
It was awesome. That was back when, that was just, I think the first time we could actually do that was because Cricket came out with a little USB, the first internet USB that you could put in your laptop.
Yeah.
That day that came out is the first day I broadcast live like that. We did it before through Firewire, we had to break through and do all that. We've done that before, but it was the first time I could like literally walk around.
Yeah.
And I was like the first one to broadcast live that way. It was hilarious. We were getting views from all over the place, all over the world.
Oh, I bet.
They were coming and going, what's going on in Austin? This guy's just walking around every night broadcasting in the bands, and I was plugging into the soundboard, so let's get a good quality.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was pretty neat back then to do that. I was always trying to come up with something. How can we help musicians? How can we create? Song Office was a music licensing platform, so we took on artists. They'd upload their songs. They'd put a lot of tags to it. Sounds like banjos in it, the lyrics were in it, and then we try to match that up with people looking to license music. So they'd go through the site,
that's
search.
Smart. Yeah, that's
we were out in, at least from 2014 and 15 were bigger years. In 2015, we were on the cover of the Austin Business Journal as a new startup that's trying to, help change the music economy in Austin. It was a big thing they put on. So it was like, it's time for Austin to amplify its music economy. And here's Song Office and Anthony and Jason and Adrian, they were working with me. And, we did good with it. It was really neat. We helped put, checks in bands' mailboxes from connecting licensing fees. But again, it just didn't take where what. But what's crazy, that was back then, and now you see sites like that all over the place that Song Trader, and that was where that came from. So it seems like I've always been a little bit ahead, but here in OrderText, we got the idea, 4 years ago, and we started building, and now I think we launched it. The market wasn't right. We remember going, why aren't anyone, really wanting to use it?
Oh, now
it's like that's, so it's just, it's caught up to us. And
to me, the smart table term is the hot term. If I were you, I would use that term. I would use it all the time. I mean, just everything would be smart tables, because that term is such a hot new term, to be honest. I never heard it before. That's why I was so interested by when KC wrote that, like, smart tables, what the hell is that? That sounds interesting, because I hear all kinds of stuff about food industry and different, all kinds of apps and website, just whatever. Restaurants are always getting bombarded with companies
This
trying
is
to
true.
come in and take a percentage of what they do and streamline their process, right?
Right.
Whatever the case may be. Because I had a food truck and catering company and a brick and mortar here in Austin for 5 years called Boca. I closed in 2019, but I got bombarded all the time with these
Right.
things, right? And it was always you just get to the point where you're just like no to everything. You don't even hear the speech anymore. You just nope. But the
Oh,
truth is,
I owned a bar. I had
right?
a
You did the
story.
same thing.
You remember the times you'd sit there at the bar, somebody would come in, talk to the bartender, like, yeah, is the bar owner in? And the bartender's like, no, he's not. Can I help you? And then he's like, well, I'm here for this, that. And then, if it's something interesting, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, hey,
Yeah.
it's me.
If it's not,
yeah, you're just continuing acting
yeah,
like
totally,
you don't even know who that is.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have
So yeah,
to.
we see that, but that's kind of where we're looking at. We wish we could literally, get out everywhere, but I think the best thing is we're trying to get in and make some kind of strategic partnering. I'm looking at talking with.
It's a really great idea, man. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're from the industry, like
right,
myself, and have had a lot of experience in it, it immediately hits you how great of an idea it is, right?
right,
Obviously you want to test it out. Every place is different, and the staff has to work it too. So if you for some reason have some sort of inept staff that can't handle this, I doubt that, because everyone uses their phones now personally.
right.
Restaurants and bars and these establishments have gotten used to the tablets and different things at the place now. So they're just getting used to more technology being infused in their concept. So, but this is something just really, really, really unique, and again, I had never heard of it before. It's a really, really unique idea. I just don't see why any place wouldn't want to try it out.
Right.
Again, you have the option. It's not like this is our system and that's it. What I
Right.
really love about it is the versatility of it, right? From that standpoint, as a customer, it's versatile in the sense that I don't have to use it if I don't want to,
Right.
or I can use it. I'll scan the QR code or not. I'm just going to do whatever I want, and the place accepts that too. And I just think that's great, and the server or bartender or whatever it may be, at first maybe they're it's just going to happen. They bitch a lot, right? They bitch
I've
a
heard
lot,
it. I've
right?
heard
It's
it.
going to
I've been
happen,
there.
but they'll get used to it, just
Well,
like
here's
any
the other,
system, right? They get used
to
to it.
answer your other question, you said, when will there be an app out? At the moment, we built the back end to receive the orders. We built it thinking about, the blocks and how to get the user really used to the flow, how it goes. And so at that point, why we don't have the app out is because they might tell me, hey, this could work better this way, and it's already happened. We've built accordingly to our test locations, going, well, this would look better if it was this way, or I can really understand this way.
Yeah.
Can you color code this, or
Sure.
can I see this? And so we started doing that. So now we're at the point where we think we have it, a nice experience, not just for the user, but also for the server, the bartender, the manager. And then if they give us any other feedback in the next few months, we're going to add that, and then the app should be rolling out.
That's
we can
smart.
say six months from now, I think an app will be out.
That's smart, though. That's a smart way to do it, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Getting some of these pilot,
Right.
places, if you will, to help you build it, right? Like
Right,
they're helping you build. I mean, they're the ones that know,
They're the,
right?
they're the customer,
Yeah, absolutely. They're your
Yeah.
customer, right?
Right,
And
right.
exactly. So, yeah. And again, they're going to know more than anybody what's working and what's not. This is
Right.
and this is not, like you
Oh,
said, color code this, color code that, whatever. This should be called this. This should click to this. Maybe we should have this option.
Oh,
I think that's super smart, actually,
Well,
to wait on the app.
We've been very fortunate to have a lot of feedback from everyone, and we've been open to saying,
That's
how do we
great.
make it better? What do you
Yeah.
think? Even on the customer side, we'd give them a questionnaire afterwards. They answered
that's
things.
cool.
So it was like I said, to try something new, to what's from the very beginning, when people didn't even think there wasn't, how do you get them to pull a phone out and scan a QR code? It's just, what do you say on the ticket? How do people flow through it? How before it was, we had a lot of things to do, and it was like, what took us a second to get it really nice is streamline it down to like simple. You can't do much more than text, chat with your server, order from a menu and pay. You
And
know,
pay. Yeah.
there's
That's it.
nothing, there's nothing else. You can click through as much as you can click through. You're not going to find anything else,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Absolutely. I mean, I think
yeah.
that's smart, right? Just easy to use. No ifs,
Yeah.
ands, or buts about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with simplicity. That's the
Right.
best way to have, because that ensures that this can happen a million times, right? That
Right.
that transaction can happen a million because it's such a simple process, right? Just
Right.
it can be repeated. No, man, I think it's a really great idea. This is a question I have for you, just as a consumer,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm posing this to a lot of people. So all the restaurants are opening back up. Well, not all the restaurants, but they're allowed to open up back on Friday with 25% occupancy, right? So they're going to test the waters and see what happens for a short amount of time, and then potentially go to phase two and allowing 50% occupancy in other
Mm-hmm.
businesses, right? Okay,
Right.
so my first thought was, okay, you got to have a mask and everything to go on. How do you eat with a mask on? How do you drink with a mask on?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about any of this? Have you heard any sort of what places are going to do for this, right? Like even you as a consumer, how would you do that? Where do you put your mask?
Well,
Food came, I've set it down on the
I'm
table.
pretty I just know that just recently, I guess Abbott has released that, you know, mandatory that you have to wear a mask now.
Yeah,
So that's been released. You don't have to wear a mask now. Um, and I mean, of course, people are going to just see what it's like. They're going to go, hey, this, you know, I need to go just have a cup of coffee and sit somewhere and feel normal again, you know? So those are the ones that are going to come out and venture. And some people are just not going to come out, you know, they're just not going to do it for a minute until they really
that's
see.
me. That's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm waiting just a
Yeah.
little bit. I'm pushing on. Hey, it's like, to me, it's something like I'm in the wild, right? Okay, I just imagine, I'm just going to put a situation here for you, hypothetically. Okay, we're in the wild, in the jungle, right? And imagine that all my people and myself are on one line, right? And then directly across from me, there's this crazy forest that is dense and I can barely see in, and I don't know what's happening, right? But everybody's saying, if we on the other side of the jungle, everything's fine, right? On the other side of the jungle,
Right.
everything's fine. And then there's people going, well, I'm gonna go. Okay, great. Let's first wave. You guys go, report back. So that's basically
Right.
where I'm at. I'm basically like, great. You guys that want to go out and are anxious to, great. You're my test subjects in a lot of way. Let's see what happens. Go out, test the waters. I'm watching you. If shit starts to whatever, great. If not, to me, that's a win-win.
I feel like I've been doing that. I've been pretty good at my quarantine. I've been here. I work from home anyway. So I was like, hey, my life seemed like it was quarantine before quarantine happened. I'm like, I live out in Valente. So I was, you know, I'm out, you know, near the lake, and I just,
you're like, I've been prepping for this all year.
Yeah. So, but when I have, you know, had to venture out, I'm going, man, there's just people just moving and shaking, and there's just people just, it's wild to see that, you know, I thought it was going to be, you know, dead. It kind of was that. I heard the first couple of weeks when it first went down, but recently it's like, it seems like it's everyone's out.
I get it, dude. Like, I'm frustrated too. I don't want to be inside my house all the time. I mean, what the hell? Nobody moves to Texas to be at home all the time, right? Especially Austin. Like, this is a very outdoorsy city, and yeah, man. Like, of course, there's not one person that you talk to that's like, yeah, I can't wait to be in quarantine the rest of my life. No, everybody was dying to get out.
Right.
And get back to normal life. Absolutely. I'm just,
you know,
of course, I don't want to waste what I've invested just because I'm so anxious to get out.
Right. Well, you know, what's going to be hopefully, you know, at least good as, you know, this isn't 6 months from now that we're just barely trying this. So
totally,
you know, it's like, okay, let's see what happens. And, you know, people are saying, you know, it's going to end up coming back again. And, you know,
it definitely is, as far as I know, it's coming back, but not till the fall, I heard.
Right. But at least we'll see, you know, some regulations in place, and hopefully they can kind of figure this out, because, you know, things are going to change anyway. You know, people are going to be a lot safer and cleaner and things like that. But, you know, this economy has to get back. You know, we have to get
100%.
people moving. We have to get people moving again. And
absolutely.
And, you know, it's just, I'm just somewhat happy it's not six. So I was thinking, man, it's going to be 6 months from now. It might be a year from now. We might be locked up for a long time.
Totally.
And we might still be, but at least there's something happen. What is it like? The chances are really, really, really low for anyone right now to get things because it's 0.000053 of a chance is to really get something. I mean, this is just optimistic talk, but we'll see what happens. I'm here to say to locations, hey, if this, just be prepared, try the smart table out.
Yeah, that's a great, it really
let's,
helps.
Let's get moving on that. Just go to our site, OrderText.com. You can register there. At that point, we will contact you, get your menu. We actually help you put all menu in place, but you have, control over your menu. You can edit it at any time. Let's put those table tents up and give your, customers a true contactless experience and let them. And that's also the thing. If I were to know that these restaurants have taken measures, they've thought this out, and they're using OrderText, I'd go there. I'd go.
Yeah,
that'd be where I'd go. I'd
yeah.
be like, okay, I'm going to go to whoever actually thought this out and went, I can sit there, order my food. I think Buzzmill is going to have a pickup station and just have people pick it up.
Nice. Okay.
And or also they're also probably will be delivering out too if they get busy. But at least that's just one contact with one-time delivery.
Yeah.
Which you are doing that now when someone kind of brings you your food for Uber or anything. They either leave it at the door, put it in your trunk, but it's still kind of the same concept. We have to get a little bit past that. So the next step is you order, and now I just bring you out, not talk to you much, and put your bag of food on your table. That's the first contact of what can possibly happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to make changes as a whatever business you're in, to be honest with you. You're just going to have to do that. And what sort of standards and practices stay in place after things get back to normal, in quotes, probably a lot of this. But to be honest, like you said, you've owned some places and you're familiar a little bit with the industry. So it's like, there's already a lot of cleanliness standards and practices at a lot of these places. At least, a lot of the places I work that were, again, just sort of elevated dining. You're already, cleanliness is like, at least in the kitchen, is like, key. It's a must. Yeah. The only two things I learned from, chefs that I work for were two solid things that every chef teaches you, which is taste everything and keep your station clean. It's literally cleanliness and tasting. So cleanliness is such a big part of kitchen, right? Cross-contamination, gloves, this, that, the other. It's all about, where you lay stuff in the walk-in, right? There's all a system to everything, how everything can be next to each other. So hopefully, I don't really worry about the restaurant side of things, to be honest with you. That's not my concern if I'm going to go out. My concern is idiot customers.
Other people,
idiot people next to me that don't know what they're doing, aren't taking the precautions, if I see my vice president doing a tour of the Mayo Clinic and literally everyone is wearing masks and he's the only one not wearing a mask, I think, okay, people are going to see this and think that this is okay. This is what I can do when I go out, not wear a mask. And his reason was, well, I want to look people in the eye. Okay. You're not wearing a blindfold, dog. You're wearing a mask. You can still look people in the eye. So I just worry about those things. So yeah, that's my concern. It's like riding a motorcycle. I don't worry about my skills on the motorcycle. I worry about the other idiots around me that don't know what they're doing. And I think that's just, those concerns are just going to be around for a while. Some people are just going to be scared and concerned, and it's just how it is. We're just going to have to slowly sort of amp this up. Get people again. People have to get back out there. Yeah,
it's
people
test.
have
you
to
have to test.
absolutely,
you have to test it and see how it works. And at this point now, you're hopefully thinking, like you said, there are a lot of stupid people. You're hopefully thinking the people who have been sick are sick. They're not going to go out. They already know. I just need not to go out. So hopefully they're the ones staying in. And
yes.
So this is all, like you said, new to us, new to everyone. This isn't anything we've ever experienced before in our lives. So we either adapt or we you know, give up, you know?
Yeah, or you die. I mean,
Yeah,
your business will die. You know,
right.
it will just go under. Even if you have adapted, some places are going under, and that's what's killing me right now, is that my industry is on its knees. You know, and it's never happened because it's such a safe industry to get into, in the sense that people always got to eat. That's what
Yep.
everybody says in my industry. People always got to eat. People always got to drink. It's the second oldest business in the history of the world. Bars, right? Pubs. It's like, oh shit, there is something that can take us down. Like I would have never thought. I mean, I just would have never imagined
Yeah, you
something
can't.
like this for this industry. Yeah,
You
it's
couldn't. You're like, oh, no one's not going to leave their house for a really long. I mean,
crazy.
really long. Yeah, it's so funny though. Not funny again. I keep thinking that, but
Yeah,
what's interesting is, every century on the 20th mark of that 20th year of that century, there's been a plague.
that's
Have you
crazy,
seen
right?
that? Have you
That's
looked
crazy.
back?
No, I mean the Spanish flu, obviously,
That was
1918,
18,
roughly.
17, around 20. Before that, there was another flu. It was like seems like history repeats itself. It's surprising that no one really looked at that and went, wait a minute, the last 500-year span,
Yeah.
there's a on the 20th mark, there's a flu, influenza
Uh,
that really does a lot of damage. You would have thought that we would have gone like, okay, let's probably prepare for that. But again, you're right, man. This is anything anyone expected can even think. Even when you think of it now, you're just like, man, I'm living in one of these crazy apocalyptic movies,
totally. That's
You're like,
exactly what I
what is
think.
going on? This is a wild thing. But again,
Yes.
I mean, when this first happened, we all thought the same. We're like, man, we're going to be in my house. I'm going to be here for a long time. I'm going to
Yeah.
go, it's just going to be a while. And then you think, well, when are we going to be able to go out again? And then they throw it at us and we're thinking, well, maybe that's too soon. I think it's too soon, but
I think it's too soon
at
too.
least there's something
Totally.
moving. And again, restaurants have to think about that, and they really have to think about adapting. I mean, it's not just OrderText, is doing what it's doing, but I see on blogs, I see on other things, people are like, how restaurants are going to adapt. They've even said, hey, put the cook's number on the table and then have them text them back. And there's all kinds of things that they're already talking
Interesting.
about. What
Yeah.
OrderText does anyway. They're already saying maybe there's these options that you can put a number on a table. You can put a texting on the table and say text your order, or things like that. I'm going, hey, we've built it. It's here. It's right now. So
Yeah.
um,
I
our
can tell
next
you right now, there ain't no cook on the planet that's like, yeah, text me while I'm cooking.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell
No,
no. Oh,
no,
hell
no.
no. I
No,
don't want to
I
be
feel
texted.
I feel you on that. I'm just saying that that's what people are throwing out there
Of
that
course,
say
but I like the
say
wheels
they're
are
in
spinning,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
that say they're in the industry. They're putting it out on
Sure.
their social media, or even on Twitter is where I
Yeah.
read some of the stuff. But
I definitely see that being a suggestion. I mean, obviously somebody was going to suggest that, right? But I can't imagine any cook being like, "Yeah, text me." Hey,
yeah,
fuck, the cooks don't
not
even. There's a great meme that says, because this is so true. It's just like any order comes in and the cooks, you got to be fucking kidding me, because that's our response to everything. It doesn't matter what ticket pops up. Ah, fuck. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like literally that's your job, but you still bitch. But at the same time, it's like bitching is sort of part of it. It sort of like helps you get through the moment in a weird way. I don't know else how to explain it. That's just my experience in the kitchen. Like it helps you get through it, just bitching about everything.
That's funny how that works in kitchens. You either
It's
gotta
crazy.
it's a fun ride though back there when you're having fun.
Oh man, I love the kitchen. Working in the kitchen is my favorite aspect to it. They all have good parts to it, but there's something about it. That's where the creation happened. I mean, that's where shit's actually happening for the reason that people go to wherever they're going.
Right.
So that's why isn't that the most exciting part? Don't even get me started on the whole tips
Right.
and where that's going in the disparity. Because again, I've worked every position in a restaurant or bar, and I've worked in 3 different countries. I've worked in different systems and seen it all. No tips. I've seen everything, every kind of
Right.
system. And it's a little lopsided, but anyway, that's another podcast. But
Well, I'd love to, let you know and let your audience know that, they can just go to our site and get a hold of me. If they have any questions, I'm there. We have a contact. We have a registration form. A lot of our information is already there on the site at ordertext.com. And, we'd love to get you guys onboarded and get your menus in and start to create your table tents. So we do across kind of branding. We put your brand on top, QR code, and then powered by OrderText at the bottom. And do a two-side, then multiple people can check into a table. So you just put one on the table, and then you can get. So it's kind of a way to split tickets. Way easier way is you don't have to split tickets. It's everyone has their individual order coming in, and they're all know
that's
it's going
smart.
out. It's going out to table 18.
Yeah.
So
that's smart. That's smart.
So yeah, we'd love to start getting you guys in and setting it up. And like I said, there's no upfront costs. And
what about like bowling alleys, airports? Now this is I'm spitballing. I think airports would be a great place.
You named off a lot of so there's in the startup where we have our case studies. It's like we could work in restaurants, bars, food trucks, bowling alleys. We could work in hotels for hotel rooms.
Yes, hotels.
Text your order instead of having to pick up a phone and call in.
Airports especially, dog. You get some of the worst service at airports, and not because they're just understaffed a lot of times, these places, and if they get overrun for whatever reason, I mean, that would be because airports anyway is all about being in your own little world and doing your own little thing, and you're just going by, right? So I could see that being an amazing tool at an airport.
Right. Also, we tested a lot in food trucks, and food trucks really liked it. That
you're right.
Instead of me having to pick up a phone while I'm cooking an order,
totally.
And while I'm like having to go get someone's change out, give them change while I got something on the back burner, and I'm like, 1 second, and you're just they're like this. I loved it because it made it easier to, people didn't stand in line. They simply walked up and they saw a QR code. They scanned it. They walked back. They waited for their order. I texted them what's ready. They came back, picked it up. They were like, it kind of helped not having to always,
100% not take that order. Not
right.
Absolutely. It's why I used to have 2 people in my food truck sometimes for that reason, just because of the customer interaction. You needed that time. You needed to hire an employee.
Most of those food trucks, they're a one-man operation.
Absolutely.
They do all the shopping.
That's me, dog. That was me.
They all the prep. They do all the cooking. They take all the orders. They did everything.
That was me. I did the marketing. I did everything, dog. Yes, those were tough. I did it all. I mean, I did it by myself, but then obviously I was able to start bringing on people, and that definitely makes it a lot easier. But yeah, you're right. That can help. I would have been all over this as a food truck, to be honest with you. I really would have. Anything to help streamline that system and make it easier. But again, you don't lose quality.
Right.
I mean, why wouldn't you give that a go? Again, I think there's so many great applications for this. I could even see it working on airplanes, dog. I'm just spitballing with you.
I'm telling you,
idea. But literally on an airplane, right? Like I could buy my food or whatever the case may be.
Check into seat number A24.
Yeah, exactly.
They know exactly where you are.
Yep. Yeah.
Again, so right now we have to get, out there.
Of course.
Get some traction, get some users, do some of making sure we built server views right, pull the app out. So again, we're also, I'm also looking for partners. If you're interested in what we're doing, send me a contact message.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And if this is an industry you've been in, or you've taken a company like us before, all the way to the top, and you're bored now and you're looking for the next thing to bring your knowledge and your experience and maybe your money too, we're here.
That's important.
Yeah. So,
the money. Gotta bring
exactly.
But that's interesting. I might hit you up on that, man. I'd be curious to know what the details are of that for sure. Personally, I think it's a great idea. I mean, spitballing.
You're the first person I'm pitched to, man. So you're like, first you're like, yes, I'm in. Where do I sign?
Totally, I'm in. I mean, it's just such a great idea. Again, in my brain, it just works on where it could all be useful, and that's a good sign. because I
Yeah.
start in my brain, I see all the different applications that it could have. I could see it working in taxis. I could see it working,
Oh, I got your
you
good
know,
idea. Ready? This is where we want to go and what we thought. Music festivals. You got smart festivals.
bam,
Smart
dog,
festivals. You walk into the
bam.
festival grounds. Every vendor is using OrderText. Instead of going to stand in line, we were thinking about putting up big old, poles that say, pole 14, section 14, QR code stand there. You can still
That's
watch the
smart.
show, kind of way up, but you're not all the way to the tent. Check in, and then the little bar guy brings up the little
Yeah,
cart, and he's like, "Here's your boom boom." It's
smart,
wild.
dog.
Like
That's
smart festivals. I'd love to talk with anybody in the sporting arenas.
great.
For
Absolutely.
ordering from your sporting chair,
Yeah.
anything like that. Once we get, like I said, past these first, I think the next 2 months is
It's kind of
really our
just
time,
like you're looking
to get in
for
there,
y-
and then
y-
we're gonna kind of hopefully.
once everything opens back up, right? Of course,
Yeah,
absolutely.
well, not even so much when everything opens back up, just kind of start to hit markets and get them prepared for, even if for some reason are opening back up as soon as we help just now start creating strategic partnerships. We're already actually integrating with a few big POS systems right now. Can't name who they are, but they're some of the top POS companies that we'll be integrating with, so that we help POS companies accept mobile orders
Yeah.
and be able to accept.
Like
Uh,
Micros or
yeah,
Aloha, right? Some of these POS systems. Okay, right
right.
on. I mean, there's a lot of new ones. Toast is a really good new one. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, again, technology. It's just
Yeah,
it's the way these things. I mean, this is just the way it has to go. You can fight it all you want as a establishment, but it's just how it's going to go. It's
right.
just the way it's going to go, and it does make the experience easier. And if your customer is, you know, the customers want this, right? Newer age, right? Younger people,
Oh, they're
generation,
they're all
whatever.
over it. They're
Yeah,
all
they're
over
all
it.
over this.
They're just like, this is it. It's funny. Originally, we started to build this from one of my partners. Has a cane, so he's a vet, and he's injured, so he kind of walks with a cane, and he also is a little bit on the spectrum. He's a brilliant mathematician. He's my database guy, and he was working with me on Song Office, and that's where it kind of came up. We were like, we need to build an app that you don't have to go, because I kept going back for him to the bar. I'm like, man, I just need to get you an app where you order from yourself. And he's like, then he threw in the part of like, well, some people don't even want to talk to anyone. They might be on the spectrum, they might be deaf, they might be
It's a great
not
point.
able. So that's kind of where it first started coming from, is let's build an app that helps kind of you know people in those situations. And then also it kind of
It's a
turned
great.
into, well, I can order from a table, I can do this. So that's where it all kind of built from, is just the fact that some people don't want to talk to people at times when they want to order. They just want to order, pay,
It makes
go.
sense. Plus, it makes the experience uniform. So no matter where different establishment I go, it's
Right.
still the same right website. So I know how to use it. It's not complicated. Every place I go, it's really easy.
Your
It's the
card's
same.
already vaulted, so you
Yeah,
never have to enter it in
exactly,
again.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's safer too, right? That's
Yeah.
safer for the sense of right. You're worried about your credit card getting copied or whatever that bullshit is. You
Yeah, that works there. I
don't have to worry about
remember
that.
hearing people saying, "Oh, this is great," because I never thought of selling it that way. They were like, "Oh, well, now you can stop people from handing your credit card over, and they go taking it behind the bar and taking a picture of it." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Do people do that?" They're like, "Yes,
Yes.
people do that." I
Yes.
was like,
Yes.
"Wow, okay, well then there
Yes.
you go. This is another good problem solver for that."
I used to work with somebody, obviously I'm not going to say a name or the restaurant I worked with, but a coworker of mine got busted for that, for,
Oh man.
buying stuff with these credit cards later, you
I
know,
mean, I would think now that it's not that hard to take a picture of a credit card and
super
with
easy.
your
Yeah.
phone, and so this definitely helps solve that
Yeah.
problem.
I
I
mean,
mean,
absolutely. You're for
that's
both
number
sides, it
right.
also keeps for those people that might have an issue with something like that, it keeps the carrot from even being dangled in front of them,
Yeah,
right? That they don't even have that temptation if they were going to do something like that. It eliminates it. It's sort of like getting rid of cash for your employees. you know,
Right.
you hope nobody steals, but inevitably when you have cash, people steal from drawers. It just happens. You build it into your budget, the loss
Mhm.
of cash that you're going to have, right? So in a sense, you just eliminate that temptation for employees, right? And it's nothing against them. It's just sometimes temptation can get the best of you, and when you can eliminate those things, it makes for better staff. I mean, honestly, man, just from my perspective, I really just don't see a downside to it at all. I think it's a great idea. I can see it working on all kinds of different applications. And basically, ideally, I'm sure in your mind, you see it as one day you would walk the world and just see little OT QR codes everywhere. And oh, the OT QR code, that means it's an interactive thing that I can control and the experience. I think that's
That would be,
where the world's
yeah.
going. So,
Well, I remember another thing that we were thinking is like, man, I do not want to see a world that's full of kiosk places. It's starting to happen up. There's just going to be big kiosks everywhere, and they show in the future everyone just walking up to do 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 and do do
yeah.
do, and you see that. I'm like, why would they want to build that where there's kiosks everywhere when the kiosk is already in your phone, already in your pocket?
Yeah,
It's like,
it's a great point.
so that's like kind of what we came. I'm thinking, future without kiosks looks a little bit brighter to me.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, you're 100% right about that. Yeah, man. It's a really great idea. You got onto something really cool, and you know,
Oh, well, imagine
awesome.
this, a line standing to use a kiosk. The kiosk is put there to stop the line.
Right?
It's
That's
like,
hilarious. That defeats the purpose.
I know, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, just take the person out of the equation, put a
What's
kiosk
what's
there, and
cool
still put them
about
in line.
what's cool about the website is no lines,
Yeah,
right? Like no lines on the website. That's it. There's no lines. You can
yeah.
get in and order, and it's great.
So you said, what's the downside there? I could think of one that we've solved that you probably haven't thought of, but what happens if you're getting just a
Slammed.
lot of orders slammed in and you're just like, what? You can simply turn off a little toggle switch that says you're no longer accepting orders. So you can
That's
actually turn it
smart.
off and on. If for some reason you just start getting slammed, and just say, hey, we're gonna get all these orders out first. Stay in line like like everyone else. If that ever, if you're just
Yeah.
getting slammed. But the idea behind that is, if you're getting slammed, it's probably time to open up another bar, or not even so much open up. So the idea I was giving bartenders that have said, hey, what if we're getting slammed? It's like, well, you have 4 service stations. Keep 3 opening for the line, and turn 1 into just straight. You got
Yeah.
a
Smart
runner,
station.
a
Yeah.
smart state. You're just
Yeah.
seeing orders come in, making the drinks. This goes out table 18. This goes out table 20. You don't have to swipe a card, close a tab.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, if that ever happens, you have to think about how you're getting those drinks out. Maybe
What
you
does
can.
the business have to make this work?
I mean, right now they would they could take orders on a phone, a tablet, a laptop,
Does it
anything
just
that's
come in
being.
like their normal messages, or is it
No, it's we have a whole built-in dashboard backend system where they can go through all get staff to come on to accept payments through their phone by assigning tables to them. They inviting them to be part of your staff for order text. There's a menu system. There's a way to add more venues. If you have one location and you have more than one, you can add them all, and the main person can see them all running. You assign one location to a manager. The manager can do all the functions. So there's a cool little backend system, and it's really simple. We made it so simple that it works like it would be an app. You look through it. If you can get through Facebook or any other, even Facebook sometimes can get complicated, but
sure?
this is not that anymore. It's kind of back to the old school where what you click on is what you see.
That's
Um,
awesome. That's
so
awesome.
yeah, so there's a texting system. So once you check in, it basically shows up like a text window, and there's a message saying, "Hi, welcome. Check out our menu, or tell me what or I can add it to your ticket." Or if it's a curbside, it shows, "Hey, we're taking orders. Please order." And the cool thing about the curbside and delivery parts, if they're going to do self-delivery, is you can verify the order before you even before the customer pays for it. So you
Got
can
it.
say, yes, we're accepting this order. Yes, please go ahead and pay now so I can prepare your order. So
Yeah.
things like that are fixed into the application. And, we've thought of a lot of things out. So that's why we're excited to get out to the market and learn more and see people using this thing. It's like, we built it, use it. It's time to have some fun.
That's
It's
awesome.
like, I like to think of the future, like you said, when you're seeing it, you're driving down, you're like, hey, OT, where's the nearest coffee shop? The OT shows you on a map. You say, order me this, pay with your card. They have it ready for you. Or then that evening, you're going out to the bar and hey, you might see a cute girl at table 12. Send her a little drink.
OT, making relationships happen.
Relations happen.
I love it.
I just had to throw a little funny in there, man. I was like,
That's funny. That's hilarious. Let me buy you a drink, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, well, I love the
People
vision, right? I like that you have it all envisioned. That's how you have to make this work, right? Like,
right.
that's how it has to be. Yeah, this is awesome, man. It really is just such a great idea. I really appreciate you coming on and talking about all this, man. This has been so
Same here.
interesting.
Thanks for inviting me, man.
Oh, absolutely. Again, this is a really interesting idea. Guys, check it out. OrderText.com. Really it's just worth giving it a try, man. It's just such a great idea. It really is. It gives a lot of control to everybody. That's basically what it does. I really like that. So
I say jump on now while we're at no cost, no monthly. You might get grandfathered in because, once, any other companies that want to come partner up with us, they're going to say, oh, we have to charge now that we're hot, we have to charge.
You got to make money. I mean, you're a business too. So
sure. We'd love to invite you now to come in, get grandfathered in, and help us build something cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again, Anthony.
Yep.
I really appreciate it, man. Stay safe out there.
You too.
And just keep doing what you're doing, brother. We'll check it out. And again, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
All right. You got it, man.
Okay, boss. Have a good rest of the day.